Tim, let me start with you. As we watch the United players leave the field of play, Graham felt that United were more positive today, more consistent throughout the game. Your take from United's perspective?
Yeah, I echo that. I mean, had some really good chances in front of goal. I thought they had the better of the chances. And that just kind of shows there's a little bit more freedom in the forward areas, and obviously having Van Nistelrooy there cheering you on, urging you on, and the way he set this team up, yeah, it felt like there was a little bit more opportunities to be had. Robbie, your point of view?
I think it was an OK performance and an OK result, Rebecca. Certainly against a team that were in the top four from Manchester United's point of view. But I think if Ruben Amorim's watching this video, he will recognise there's a lot of work still to be done at this football club in terms of finishing the chances they make, game management when they get ahead, keeping possession in the attacking third and not letting teams out so easily. So there's plenty of things on the list, but at the end of the day, for Ruud van Nistelrooy, 4 or 5 days in charge, won in the League Cup, he's got a duel against Chelsea. That's a decent return.
We'll have a look at those missed chances in just a minute, Tim. On Chelsea's side of things, I think I just saw Enzo Maresca talking to Moises Caicedo. Was he the best player on the field, Caicedo, today?
Well, yeah, I think he was, and he's starting to kind of round out that big fee. You know, he goes for, I think you said a
46
Premier League record fee. Like, your eyebrows get raised, and, he's in a system with a team that doesn't have much in the way of identity, and he starts to get lost. And now, all of a sudden, he's Maresca's kind of guy. Strong, tough, carries the ball. We're seeing the performance, and you're like, oh, okay, that might... Whether he ever lives up to that hype or not, but you're starting to see the real player in there, and Maresca's brought that out of him.
It's really interesting, because, again, Maresca talking before the game has said, well, it's a really young group of players, youngest squad in the Premier League. And he said, we have to go to places and learn. They went to Liverpool recently at 2-1, and I think the atmosphere caught up with them as much as what was on the pitch. Today, they had to go to Old Trafford and deal with, the euphoria that Ruud was in charge, that a new manager's coming, and they did a decent enough job of that. It's a young team that are learning, but I have to say the future looks pretty bright.
Tim, just staying on Chelsea for a second, they're into fourth. We've also seen Tottenham play today. We've seen Aston Villa play today. We saw Newcastle yesterday beat Arsenal. Out of those four, of course, I'm not talking Nottingham Forest, but out of those four who at the beginning of the season were all vying for a top four, which do you think is the most likely, if it goes according to form over the course of the season, and it's Arsenal, City and Liverpool top three?
Oh, gosh. Villa seemed like the most consistent of that group. But the Chelsea thing is mystifying to me, because it's a young bunch of kids, and like you think about the ceiling. Like, if this goes really well for these young kids, wow, there's a bunch of stars there. It's not like they're nailed on and think, oh, we know the performances. There might be some dips, but the high is so high for Chelsea. So I do still think Villa, but
they're the wild card.
Yeah,
they're the one you just really don't know.
United, of course, should be in that conversation, shouldn't they? Let's be honest, if they can put the chances away. We've seen it all season, Robbie. We saw it again today.
Yeah, listen, Eric Ten Hag lost his job last weekend against West Ham United when United should have been 4-0 up at half-time. And there's definitely work to be done in that 18-yard box. When Manchester United get there, and sometimes the play is good, it's a bit more vertical, they play a little bit more counter-attack. But when they get in the box, people aren't relaxing enough. People aren't making the right decisions. People aren't making the right contacts. It's 9 Premier League goals from 10 Premier League games. You've got to remember, Chris Wood has got 8 Premier League goals on his own individually for Nottingham Forest. That's what we're talking about at Manchester United. And as we see these chances keep coming, some of these are good chances, Rebecca. The kind of chances that should be finding the ball into the back of the net. There's definitely work to be done.
So what does Ruben Amorim do then to improve finishing?
Well, it's the kind of thing, it's repetitive, Rebecca, it's work you have to do on the training ground, it's a rhythm. I remember when Ian Wright was with us at one of our fan fests, and he says, as a striker, you have a rhythm about timing in the box, about taking the right touches, about making the right decisions. Manchester United almost lose a little bit of a composure when they get into the penalty box. This is a guy who knew exactly how to find the back of the net.
Fewest goals scored this season so far, still Manchester United in that top three. Southampton have 7, Palace have 8, and Manchester United have 9.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And if you want even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.